What if I told you some of the Bible's biggest story already existed thousands of years earlier? Noah's Ark, Moses in the basket, even the Ten Commandments. Yes, long before ancient Israel ever wrote and compiled them around 700 to 500 BCE. Older civilizations in Egypt and Mesopotamia were already telling shockingly similar stories on stone tablets and papyrus scrolls. And once you see these parallels, you can't unsee them. In today's video, we'll be digging through the ancient world's oldest archive to uncover the stories that may have inspired the Bible itself. And trust me, the rabbit hole gets insane. Everybody knows Noah's Ark. Humanity becomes corrupt. God sends a flood. One man builds a giant survival ship and saves life on earth. Classic story. But over 1,000 years before Genesis was finalized, Babylon already had its own version. It was called the Epic of Gilgamesh, 2100 BCE. Inside the story, a man named Utnapishtim is warned that the gods are about to destroy humanity with a global flood. But here is the twist. The gods weren't angry because humans were evil. Humans were just too loud. Literally, the gods couldn't sleep. So Utnapishtim built a great multi-level boat loaded with animals, family, and supplies, survived the apocalypse, and when the flood ends, he releases birds to search for land. Okay, sounds familiar, right? Because it's almost the exact blueprint of Noah's Ark, except it was carved into clay tablets centuries earlier. And I think the Sumerian tablets about the Anunnakis also have a similar story about a global flood, but that will be a talk for another day. Moses wasn't the first basket baby. The legendary origin story of Moses, a baby marked for death, hidden in a basket, sent drifting down a river, only to rise and change history forever, is one of the most iconic stories ever written. But Mesopotamia already had a nearly identical tale. Meet Sargon the Great, 2334 to 2279 BCE, the founder of the world's first major empire around 2300 BCE. According to ancient record, Sargon's mother secretly placed him in a basket made of reeds, sealed it with tar, and released him into the river. The inscription literally says, and I quote, "She set me in a basket of rushes. With bushmen, she sealed my needs. The river carried me away." And just like Moses, the abandoned child survived, rises to greatness, and changed the world. This wasn't just storytelling in the ancient world. The river child, chosen by destiny, was basically a legendary hero template. And the Bible used that same powerful formula to introduce Moses. Now let's talk about the commandment before Sinai. Now here's where things get really wild. The Ten Commandments may have ancient roots in Egypt. Think about it for a moment. Moses grew up in Egypt. He was educated in Egyptian culture, laws, and religion. So what idea would he have been exposed to? One major candidate, the Egyptian Book of the Dead. Ancient Egyptians believed that after death, your soul stood trial before the gods. To enter paradise, you have to declare your innocence using something called the negative confession. That's around 1550 BCE. And the similarities are crazy. I have not slain men, I have not stolen, I have not told lies. Same moral energy, same ethical framework. But here's the genius part. Egypt used these rules as a defense speech for the dead trying to enter the afterlife. The Bible transformed them into laws for the living, not just how to die morally, but how to build a moral society on earth. That shift changed history forever.